Hi, welcome to Fulham Fix. I'm by myself today, as you can see. It's just myself, no Felix. Felix is currently deep in rehearsals with the Maccabees for their upcoming shows, which is a shame because I would have loved to have spoken to him and shared the joy and love that goes with doing the double over Brentford this season. Something we've not done apparently, I think it's like 78 years. And it was an absolute joy. The game had absolutely everything: penalty saves, worldies, Tom Cairney headers, which, let's be honest, that doesn't happen often. And just getting to beat Brentford, beat our all-time Premier League points total, our all-time wins in a Premier League season. What a season. Just unbelievable. And sadly, I can't share that with Felix. Like I said, he is busy at the moment. But wanted just to share that with everyone here because I know you're all feeling it. Our guest today, and it's taken us an offensively long time to get this man on, an absolute Fulham legend. I think literally only retired from playing football like a couple of years ago. He's been playing for years and years. He is an absolutely top guy and has some great stories. So here he is, Barry Hayles.
Barry Hayles, it was about time we got you on Fulham Fix, and you're here. I mean, you know, in theory, you come see the game, and we're like, if you're in the stadium, we're getting you on the show. So thank you so much for coming down, for joining us. How you doing? How is it? I mean, you come here quite a bit these days. Right?
Yeah. I tried to get as much games in as possible, but because I played vets as well on a Saturday, hence why I didn't come to Crystal Palace last week, and we had a 4 o'clock kickoff last week, so I thought it'd be cutting it fine. But yeah, I try and get down there as much as I can.
Mate, you're still playing.
Well, I was about to say, I didn't realise you were still playing.
Yeah, vets. Yeah. I just started back because I had an injury, which, funny enough, I done out here playing with the supporters last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I pulled my hamstring.
Wow.
I mean, when I pulled it, I shattered it.
Oh,
and I was
really?
7 months out. So when I remember coming back to one of the games, and one of the guys who organised it, he said to me, "Oh, how's your injury?" I said, "No, I'm still out on that."
Way.
I said, "Yeah, but yeah, if I get invited again, I will come next month because it's the end of the season."
So that hasn't put you off playing?
No. I want to come back.
Mate, you love it, don't you?
Yeah, I love playing.
There can't be many footballers that love it as much as you. Like, your career is ridiculous.
It has been longer than I thought, but just the love of playing.
Yeah.
The love of playing any which way I can. Yeah.
That's quite unique. I think there aren't many people. I mean, because at the moment, what are we on? It's a 35-year career so far.
Yeah, 5 years.
And that's across. You correct me if I'm wrong here, because bear in mind when I was looking up some Barry facts yesterday, every sort of few years they do an article on you because it's extraordinary, but obviously it needs constant updating. So, like, last one I saw was 33-year career across 13 clubs, 12 leagues, but that's all out the window now because that was like a few years back.
Ago,
so what are we on at the moment?
Well, I think we're on the 16 clubs now, which I've played for and thoroughly enjoyed. And it's a case of when I thought, I won't play no more, the phone will ring and someone will say, "How you feeling? If you fit enough?" And I say, "Well, I'll come and do a pre-season and you can take it from there."
Amazing.
And it's worked. And I've gone to clubs like Truro and Albans and fitted in. And yeah, it's been good.
Let's go back to let's start the Fulham years, though, because you played for Fulham more than any other club, right? You played over 200 times for Fulham. And would you say Fulham's your team in terms of your playing career?
Oh, yeah.
We got the best
Fulham,
years out of you, didn't we, really?
Yeah. Fulham was my outstanding club that I played League One and played in the Premiership with.
Yeah.
And we won titles and we grew.
Mate,
I
glory
grew the club
years.
as well, yeah.
But really interestingly, because we had Bobby Zamora on recently, and we forget these things. We think of you obviously as a legend of the club and there's so many beautiful moments, and the same with Bobby. But when he first signed for Fulham, you were record signing 2 mil, and to begin with, it didn't click, did it? It was like for a few months.
Click, yeah, because
how do you remember that? Like,
I remember it because I went from playing for Stevenage conference and then going to Bristol Rovers.
Yeah, bossing teams.
And we was in League One and we was battling. We were favourites to get relegated because we had the worst budget at Bristol Rovers.
Really, yeah.
And that season, we ended up making the playoffs with Fulham.
Yeah.
Fulham had Oldham, and we had Northampton.
Yeah.
And we both lost.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I saw it as if Fulham had gone up, they probably would not have bought me.
Wow.
Right.
But we stayed in the same league.
Yeah.
And I remember coming here and playing here against Fulham.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, I got the call saying
Wow.
Fulham made a bid. Keegan, when I came in, Keegan said to me, "You got your teammates to thank for bringing you here." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, when you played against us, you were that good. The boys were like, you need to get him in."
Right.
So yeah.
Wow,
So,
that's very cool.
Meeting Chris Coleman.
Because Coleman said that. So you and Coleman were
and Kit, they were like, "Yeah, we said to Keegan, if you
This
can,
guy.
you need to get him in." And yeah.
Do you remember the game well then?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Right, so I didn't remember that. I was captain of Rovers at the time.
Right.
And I flicked through and I saw me and Coleman doing a toss-up and I was like, I was captain that day. And I remember having a chance. And Andreas, Andreas was the goalie.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember him, I think he got a fingertip to it.
Yeah.
And I thought, that was my only chance. It was a tough game and that, and I think Fulham won 1-0. But the next month or so, the deal was done and I was there.
So they probably identified Keegan, because Wilkins would have gone by then, so Keegan signed you. But like identified as a League One centre forward that would just like bully teams, for want of a better word, and just for that league, you think specifically?
Yeah, but we were when I came to Fulham, we were playing football. It wasn't like direct. We were passing through teams and that. So I just fitted in well. But yeah, like initially when I first came, I've gone from Rovers from Stevenage to Rovers for 2000.
Yeah.
And then a year, a little bit later, 2 million. I'm thinking, where's this come from?
What's happened?
So
Yeah.
it was a shock to me. I'm thinking, I just want to play football. And then this price, but it did affect me,
It's a daunting price. So do you think that's what got into your head?
Yeah, 100%. Because I thought, what's this? Who's paying? And so, it was a quick turnaround and it was a shock to my system the first, I'd say, 3 or 4 games because I thought, this is
And do you remember? Sorry, but like when you get, because back then 2 million's massive. It's massive in certainly
League One.
It's huge. And so, do you remember what friends and family said at the time when you went? I've gone from playing non-league. I've just been signed for 2 million.
Yeah. We were a club that is growing. I remember reading them signing Chris Coleman from the Premiership, but from Blackburn. Yeah. So he come down. So I know the club was going to get the players in to just. Right,
yeah. And do you remember about that? Because I used to stand and at the Stevens Road enclosure, where it was stood there before the seats came to the bottom. And I remember I just interested if you remember this because I was like a young teenager. And there was a dad and a son. And you were getting stick when you first signed. People were like, Barrett, a lot of money. And they would stand there and they'd be, as you're walking into the tunnel, they'd be going, Barry, don't listen to him. Don't you listen to him, man. You keep your head up. Do you ever remember that?
I didn't hear it when I was coming off.
Did you hear that? Does Barry hear that? Because they would just wait by the tunnel and they'd be like shouting in your ear, don't you listen to him.
Yeah, because my debut, funny enough, my brother and my family was there. And when my name got announced, the Fulham fans booed me.
Yeah, it was to begin with.
And I thought to myself, what's going on there? But Keegan realised that they thought I came to take Pesh's place. And that was the whole thing about it.
Yeah.
So my first game, my brother was there thinking, what's he done? That's his first game.
What's he done already?
Yeah. And he's like,
who's he pissed
off? And I thought, and I heard it myself, and I thought, hold on a minute, it's a home fans and that. And I'm thinking, well, what have I done here? I ain't kicked the ball yet.
Yeah.
But it transpired, and Keegan got wind of it, so he thought, well, I'm playing you two, and Pesh was the one who set up my first goal in that.
Yeah, brilliant.
So it kind of turned around and think that way. But initially, I'm thinking, why am I getting booed?
Yeah.
God, do you remember the booing? I don't
remember
that, do you?
I really remember
my brother, like I said, my brother was there, and he said, I got up and started looking at, what's he done like?
Yeah.
And so,
would have hit hard with the
It's testament to your character that you ended up, because, who would have thought 2 years later you're playing with Louis Saha, all these greats in a team that's the best Fulham team ever probably at that point of time, and you've evolved beyond, do you know what I mean?
And it was, and even when Keegan left to manage England, Paul Bracewell took over.
Yeah, Bracewell, yeah.
And for the life of me, he didn't like me.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know why. I'm not sure why, but from day dot, I sensed it. And so when Keegan left to manage England, he's a manager, and I thought to myself, he don't like me. So literally the next day of him become manager, he said to me, "You're not in my plans. I've done a deal with Bristol City for you to
Go back.
Yeah, well, City.
Oh,
no,
so
left
Rovers, yeah.
right.
Wow.
So, and I was like, I've got 3 years left on my contract in there. Yeah. But he said to me, the deal's done. Adi Akinbaye is coming here. You're going there, and I'm paying them £2 million. And I was like, okay. I said, I thought to myself, well, I'm gonna. So I went, spoke to Tony Pulis, who was the manager of Bristol City at the time. Walked through the door. He said to me, I'm getting his best deal ever, Baz. I can't believe this is not going to go through. But then he said, his last words was, but there's a small stumbling block. I need you to take a pay cut. And I thought to myself, you just said you're getting a like-for-like player and £2 million.
Yeah.
So it's a great deal, but yet you want me to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
So in my thinking, I'm thinking, you clearly don't want me.
Yeah.
So I spent the night, they put us up in the hotel, and he said to me, come back in the morning and tell me yay or nay. Didn't even go back. Just me and my agent just came back to Fulham.
Yeah.
And I remember Pesh saying to me, you had a choice of going there, getting paid up from Fulham. Yeah. You still have 3 years in contract. So he said, financially wise, if you go, then and I thought, no, I said, I'm a Fulham player.
Yeah, but Pesh probably wanted to play, didn't he?
Yeah, but we'll play anyway. But Pesh was thinking, man, you got 3 years left on your contract. Yeah. They got to pay you out. If he wants you out, then he's got to pay you to.
That's what you get for being married to a businesswoman.
So straight away,
he's bang on it with that. He's like, here, let me have a chat with you.
There's a window there for you. And I thought, no. So I came back. I didn't tell Pulis no. Came back and just thought, I'm going to get my head down, work hard. I remember Frank Sibley, the coach. He said to me, just to settle it a bit, come in on your days off, show him that you're willing, which I did. The day I did come in was after a night out. So I'm there sweating it off. Bracewell comes in and so he's walking. He goes, Baz, good to see you. Like, I'm in the gym by myself. Yeah. He comes over and I'm thinking, don't come too close. That's all I'm saying. Don't come too close. Don't come too close. Of course he does. He comes over. He's gone. And I said, yeah. I said, yeah, it was a good night, but I'm here. And he's like, fair play to you. And I walked back out and I thought, is it good to be a bad? Which one is it? Yeah.
Can't work out if.
Yeah. Because he came on, I'm thinking, don't come too close. Don't. Please.
Oh, mate.
Great, man.
Oh, but yeah. And then he was still saying to me, like, I need more. And I remember I got called up to the Cayman Islands.
Right, yeah.
Only because I had a British passport. That's the only reason why I qualified. And I remember, I think we played QPR away. And after the game, the boys were getting their black bags that we used to put the boots in to go off and that. And I remember, I think I scored the winner and we beat QPR 2-1. And he came in and he said to me, because Wayne Collins was meant to go and he come in and he went, I don't think you should go on this. And I went, okay. And I thought to myself, you didn't want me initially. Yeah. And so, sorry. So I couldn't change it. And I remember him saying, right, you're not going to. And I said, sorry? And Wayne was like, yeah, I ain't going. I went, no, I don't think I can turn this down. And Kevin Ball said, we're going to be here a whole lot longer than the Cayman Islands. So I think, and I thought, thanks for your input, but I'm still going.
Right,
okay.
Yeah.
And so we went there for the week, done the training. We was meant to play Trinidad and Tobago the Sunday. The Friday come, and they brought this new rule in. Jack Warner and Sepp Blatter that you can't represent a country unless you played in that country for 5 years.
Really?
So that's when the rule come in. We were meant to play them on the Sunday.
You were there.
And when we were there, ready to play, we had a build up. We had a decent squad, but I still thought it wasn't a great squad. Yeah. Guys with British passport, a lot of them was playing in the championship. So it wasn't like we had elite players. Yeah. But they found this clause and brought in that. So I ended up coming back. Funny thing, I ended up coming back and Fulham had no strikers fit. Me and Finnan played up front. And we won 3-0, and I scored 2, and Finnan scored the other one.
Steve Finnan played up front?
Yeah, me and Finn played up front. I came back from Cayman Islands, and then there was no strikers fit, and me and Finn played up front. Yeah.
Wow, and that little turning point in your life, actually.
Yeah. So I come back, and Bracewell was still like I'm in Arvin, and we'd drawn a lot of games by this point. I think we had played 11 games, won 2, and drawn like 9.
Yeah.
So it was like, we're kind of unbeaten, but we've drawn a lot of games.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, if he stays, then I probably won't stay, and that's how things are. He clearly don't like me.
Yeah.
So something's gonna break, and then luckily,
he's
they
gone.
brought in to Ghana and that. Yeah.
And when Tigana comes in, what are you thinking? Because there must have been that feeling of like there's going to be a clear out.
Oh, of course, yeah. I'm thinking, come from non-league. He's probably thinking, he's not my style of player. And then I remember having a meeting with him, and he said to me, I like you, I like you, but you're always fighting. You're always fighting and that. And I said, if you know the league, you're going to know that. It's and then he said, but let's fight it. I said, I can't guarantee it.
I can't guarantee it. Especially after a few drinks.
Yeah, and then I don't remember Louis saying to me, I've learned stuff from you, how to hold the ball up and how to get my body and position myself and fight with players and that. So I said to the guy, well, at least I've helped one teammates and that. And he said to me, no, you help me because you take the fight. And then I realised, I get my body. So that's how it worked. That's how it grew.
That's it. You bought like another element to that whole style as well.
Yeah,
It's one thing playing this sort of beautiful, fast play, attacking game, but then to have that strength as well.
Yeah.
Or the Barry Barge as
Barry Barge.
It's affectionately, Do you remember that being sort of thrown about, that phrase?
Barry Barge and that?
Yeah.
No, I'm not the first time.
Oh, really?
It's really, I was reading
centre backs. Yeah, people talk about it.
Barry Barge and that.
Yeah, I was reading an article that said a move that was affectionately became known amongst Fulham fans as the Barry Barge. Like a WWE movement. But that's incredible. So, and it's quite, like I said, it's one of those things where, on paper, like you said, doesn't seem like it would be the perfect fit, but it ended up being just so prolific, especially that, yourself, Saha and Burr and stuff.
Oh, we did once, because he said to me, I want to be pacey up front. I want pace. I want us, when we turn the ball over, I want you guys to just split, and with the quality, we should be finding you. And that season was that season when he's dropped us, change it round, and you think, I played well last game, and then he dropped you, and then he's refreshed you back in, and then you're ready to go and hit the ground running again.
So I remember it being you and Louis up front all the time. Was it a lot of chop and changing at that time?
Yeah. There's times when I remember Louis and Louis playing and that, and I'm thinking, sure, I could have, and then he thought all the time. I think he played the three of us mainly as if we were losing.
Right, and then
he'd be like, right. And I remember he was losing. I come in the game, and then Louis Saha come on, and he transformed the game. And I think we 1-0 down, and with me and Bob, we just turned it around and that. I remember coming there saying, the subs made a difference in that. So chop and change, and what made you hungry to come on?
I bet. Like, what did you learn from Saha? Did you was he another level when he came?
Another level.
This is another sort of
from minute one, very first training session.
And
I pulled him. I said, mate, you need to lay off our back four and that. He was like,
really?
I said, mate, you are ripping them up and that, and they need confidence for the weekend. No word of a lie. I said from day one. I said, Louis,
you're trying to
push their confidence.
We need to keep them levels. He was that good from minute one, the first training session. And I was like,
He was like from outer space, wasn't he? I remember that in a championship.
He had it all. 2 good feet, great in the air. He worked on his strength, and that's what, the best player I played with.
Really?
So, not forward player throughout.
And also, but you were 2-footed as well. So both when you were together, because I remember you being left and right-footed, right? Or you're technically right-footed, but you scored a lot of goals left.
I've seen now. I watched the videos, and I think some people say, but you're a left footer. I said, no.
And
then I said, and then I watched the goals. I'm thinking I scored left. majority lefts and that. So, yeah.
You always that, like, naturally when you're young.
Yeah,
it's like,
my brother said to me, right, we're going to work on your left touches and that. And that's what we've done as kids and that. He said to me, so...
Oh, your older brother was
Yeah. My older brother, I had 2 older brothers, and we used to play every day as kids and that. But there was something special with me because the older boys would be like, if we were picking a team, I was down there and I'd be first pick. Right. And they're up there. So when I gradually made it, and I see them, they'd be like, oh, remember, you was down there, you was always my first pick because you had something from a kid.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
You know, something in that, but you had older brothers, so you had to be, like, physically competitive and, like, to grow into that.
Yeah, well, kind of, but my brothers, we never had scrap.
Right.
We was always close, the three of us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'd go out, but my middle one, he would go in goal and that, and then he'd have the up and want to go home, but me and my oldest one, we'd stay out.
Always the one that goes.
Yeah, the middle child, John with that. Yeah. So we always played as kids. So
that's some really interesting, like, kind of like mature foresight from your brother to go, let's work on your left foot.
Yeah. Heading as well. Heading as well.
Like what?
Really?
I mean,
and my heading, he said to me, right, because normally, like, I coach kids now for the job I do, and when I throw the ball, it's always like that, and my brother's like, no, you got to use your neck muscle, and from then. That's how I gradually learned. I bought to an academy to get coached. So me and my brothers have done it. And that's how
yourselves.
Yeah.
What, as in attacking the ball with your head rather than letting
letting it hit you. Yeah. There's little drills and that, short drills that are just punching the ball and that.
Yeah.
So when the ball's coming, you're not just
like
the kids do. It's naturally you're like, no, the ball's not hitting you. You're heading the ball. You're the one making the contact. But yeah.
And what aligns with that is the way, because when I think of your goals, and people would have said it back in the day as well, you just run through people. Did you always have that thing where you're just like, you just attack defenders?
Yeah.
I always used to feel like they used to disappear like panic.
I used to think, the more bodies around me, because no one's going to think, I'm going to attack you. So I used to try and gather as much people around me, the defenders, and then try, because it'd be like, oh, he's going to tackle him, and none of them would. And that's how that's how I kind of thought, if I suck him in and then I'll get a little tight space, I will get through, because one of them would be like, oh, he's going to tackle. And that's how I used to think,
Because that's the Sheffield Wednesday goal, for example. Do you remember the Sheffield Wednesday goal when you beat about 7 players or something?
I watched that last night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I get sent stuff.
Yeah.
And I ain't seen it, and someone sent me, and I was like, oh my God. And I remember jinxing one way, the geezer went that way, and I turned inside.
Yeah.
And then someone else come, and I nicked it past him, and the same guy who was marking me, he came back, and I remember just giving him a little, and he was on the floor, and then I popped
Barry Bar.
It's Barry Bar, yeah. There you go, yeah.
Copyright that.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. And what about the Spurs goal? Because it was a famous Spurs goal.
2 left foot strikes.
Yeah, left foot.
And I'm thinking to myself, people would think, oh, he's naturally left-footed. Yeah, that was probably...
What a strike as well.
Probably my best game, I'd say, for...
Would you?
In a Fulham shirt. Yeah. Away from home, one of the so-called big... I would say 6, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. And when we went there and we... Absolutely turned them over. Yeah.
And now, because obviously it's your boyhood team, Spurs, isn't it? And I know you sort of mentioned that would have been one of the teams you'd love to have played for. Who wouldn't want to sort of play for their unbelievable, of course. Watching it back, you sort of didn't celebrate.
No, I didn't.
Was that because it's your boyhood team? And
so it's Spurs. Yeah.
Imagine dreaming about it, like the night before, dreaming about it, thinking, if I score.
Did you think about that a lot?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Right, so the Thursday, Coleman pulled me and he said to me, you're in the starting lineup for Saturday. Yeah. And normally you don't get told that. But I think he's looked at my record against Tottenham and he knows I'm a Tottenham fan. And Clark, he used to say, when Newcastle played Tottenham, we would go and have the rivalry and that. And he pulled me the Thursday and said, you're in the starting lineup. And I was like, straight away I'm thinking, it's Tottenham. Tottenham's my team in that. I've got to score. That's what I'm thinking. Days prior to it. So he gave me 2 days.
Yeah.
And I think Louis Saha started the last game. So he dropped Louis.
Wow.
So that was
big.
Yeah. Away from home. And it worked in that,
Now, can I ask as well, subconsciously, or maybe consciously, were you playing like...
He wants to move.
Yeah, I'm like, were you playing like extra special because you think, if I impress them enough, Do you know what I mean? Like I might get a move to Spurs.
Yeah, it's a normal game build up, but of course I'm thinking if I stand out, you never know.
You really did stand out. Man.
Yeah. That game was the perfect game for me, and setting up Boa as well.
Yeah, consistent.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. I remember Boa sliding across me, and I'm looking at the Fulham fans. Still ain't got a smile on my face, but I'm celebrating with the Fulham fans. And Boa slid across there. I remember that. And then the T-shirt got made, didn't it?
What's the T-shirt?
Fulham, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Boa sliding.
Hayles.
Yeah. So that was nice. When I saw the T-shirt, I thought, that's nice fitting.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it was incredible. I mean, you must have been, was it always the dream, the Premier League, for you when you were a boy kicking?
I think back then the Premier League weren't even heard of. So it wasn't. So it was just playing.
Yeah,
playing for first and foremost.
Yeah,
and then when I remember leaving, I was at Hawkeye paying subs, and then going to Stevenage, and then the manager saying, "Do you want to keep paying subs, or do you want to get paid?" And I was like, "Well, that's a no-brainer." Yeah, so and that's how it started. And I thought, well, I'm going to get paid to play football.
Yeah,
I love playing anyway.
Yeah.
So just an added bonus.
Do you know there's a difference in your enjoyment at different levels, or have you always just enjoyed football?
Same.
Always the same?
Yeah, like yesterday I played a Vets game and I came on in that, and the boys were like, "You come and possessed."
Really?
Like, you got to play. I said, you got to play each game like it's your last.
Yeah,
man.
And so I do say to players now, if you're not going to give it all every game, then what's the point of going out there?
Yeah.
Oh, Barry Hayles. I'm singing in my head as I'm hearing that. Barry Hayles.
Before we got maybe 5 minutes so left, if that's cool, before we let you go.
Cool, yeah.
But we've had a number of your fellow teammates on the pod where they've talked about sort of nights out together and things. Sean, especially, I know you're very good friends with Sean. I was on recently mentioning
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon Village.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember? Well, I was going to ask you a couple of things here. There was a story about Wimbledon Village. There was a story about Bolton Wanderers away and you guys disappearing off. Was it to Wetherspoons?
Yeah.
Was it a TGI's but
right by the ground, apparently. Yeah.
By comparison. Yeah. And
we arrived. Yeah. So we arrived. It was. We just beat. No, we were playing on Huddersfield in the midweek, and it's just. Yeah, we played Blackburn.
Yeah.
And we stayed up.
Yeah.
We stayed up there, and when I'm my black eye.
Oh yeah.
So we stayed down there, and so they sent us to the game. They gave us a box, and I remember Sky saying, "Oh, the Fulham team's there." And me and Sean on the pub across the road, and they panned and that, and me and Sean saying, "Oh, no one down there. They won't miss us." The boys came out. The coach came out for the boys. Me and Sean nipped at the pub and joined the boys and got back on the coach. Headed back to the ground. I mean, to the hotel. The first thing we see is the manager to go on. Hey, were you two? I said, yeah, we watched the game. And
doing up a shoelaces.
He went, I see a camera and I don't see you two. I said, oh, you probably went toilet then. At that moment, you probably went toilet. He went, what, together? I said, yeah, probably.
Good friends, very good friends.
Probably great. Amazing.
Yeah, well, I couldn't play anyway because I had a black eye, so I was ruled out. So
yeah.
In my
that's you're fine for that. And what about Wimbledon Village? Did you remember any?
I can't remember Wimbledon. Yeah, I'm trying to remember Wimbledon Village. Yeah, we had a lot of Dog and Fox. I think the pub was called. Yeah, we had a few sessions there. And
did you ever do karaoke there? Because I did. I managed to find a little bit about you. Absolutely loving to sing.
I do love singing that. I'm a very bad singer, but
now
in my eyes,
yeah,
I'm half decent. In some people's eyes, apparently I'm not bad in there.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I done karaoke in Bristol on Wednesday.
Right.
Yeah.
What was your song? What was it?
Right, we was quite drunk, and I think it was Oasis.
You did Oasis?
Oh yeah, which one? And that
Wonderwall.
No, it was
Live Forever.
No. Oh,
Supersonic.
No. Oh, it's gonna bug me.
Don't Look Back in Anger.
No, it wasn't Championship and over.
Don't Look Back in Anger.
It's none of the.
Wow. What
right. Oh.
Songbird.
Rock
I'd
and
love
roll
to see
star.
you do Songbird.
No, I don't know what Songbird is.
No,
No, it's later Oasis.
It's later. Was it early Oasis?
Yeah, see, I'll text my mate, but yeah, it's gonna bug me.
Mate, come on, it must be. It's not back at
He's living. Oh no.
Live forever. Maybe I don't really want to know. How you gotta
Sing
go.
it to us.
It's me and my two work colleagues, and me in the middle, and they're both on mics, and we was I think life, yes,
Live.
it's just gonna bug me for him and that, but I'll have to text you what it is. But So I done karaoke. So I do love a bit of singing and that.
Love that.
In an Elvis outfit, innit?
I saw you in the Elvis outfit. There's a great photo of you in the Elvis outfit.
Yeah, I done the whole karaoke set in the outfit.
As Elvis?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
You a bit of Elvis fan? Would you say?
Not really, the geezers just said to just Elvis. Because I love singing and that. That's why, yeah.
Oh man, that is great. That is brilliant.
Barry, in an all-time Fulham team, if you were up front, I think I know the answer. If you could pick one other centre forward in the history of Fulham Football Club, obviously you got your man Saha, but if I was going to throw in Berbatov,
Mitrovic.
who else would you say?
He's got to be Burbs.
Bride.
Berber.
He's got to be Burbs, yeah.
Would you want to play Berber?
He's elegant. Yeah. He's elegant to watch. He was at Tottenham as well, and so I was a joy to watch him at Tottenham as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and play. I'd
You two together,
yeah,
man.
Oh, he's silky touches and that. Yeah,
You're doing the physical barging.
right away,
and
man.
he just
Thinks it.
scoring.
And I remember watching him on Sky talking about how he played and that, and they were saying to him, "You weren't the quickest," and that. He goes, "You don't need to run fast.
Yeah.
When you got a touch like me, you can just." Which is facts.
Yeah,
You don't have to run around like a blue-ass fly to say.
totally. Legend. All right, Barry.
It's been
Oh,
an
the last thing
absolute
to say, man, is that everyone at Fulham loves you so much, man. You know that, 'cause every time you come back here, man, people
I
appreciate you,
that.
and you're a hero here, man. So thank you for everything you've
No,
done.
cheers, guys. Thank you.
And if you ever see him in a karaoke bar, get him a drink, get him up on stage, stick Oasis on. We'll work it out.
Yeah.
You got to let us know what that was, and we can let them know.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Legend.
Nice one, pal.
Cheers, guys.
Barry Hayles there. What a legend. We're going to be back with one more episode for the season, so look out for that. Until then, come on, Fulham.